Hello, this tutorial is going to explain to you how to design a livable space. So throughout this module, you're going to be learning, number one, about floor plans. And a floor plan is just, the layout of your space. So you're going to be learning in depth about the floor plans, how to design a floor plan, and then how to arrange furniture. So in essence, you're designing a space that is livable. So here is what a floor plan looks like. So as I was saying, it's pretty much a diagram of a room or a home that shows arrangement. The floor plan here, it literally just shows arrangement of where the rooms are. When you start practicing floor plans in this module, you're just going to be making rooms opposed to full homes. Essentially, you can do room by room and then kind of put them all together. But you do make sure that you include dimensions, and you can see there's a bunch of dimensions, and then everything is labeled. And then you take it a step further, and you can add furniture, but you'll do that after you start doing floor plan drawings. So what does a floor plan exactly show? Well, it shows the exterior and interior walls. It shows the location of the windows, the doors, and their sizes. In a kitchen, it's going to show cabinets, appliances, where the sink is, which is a permanent fixture, outlets, electricity, things like that. It also shows the stairs, fireplaces, and then if you're doing a full home floor plan, you're going to have your porches, patios, decks, etc. And then obviously, like I said when I was explaining the picture, it's going to have room names and approximate sizes or the dimensions. You want to pay close attention to that. So homes and floor plans are designed into what's called housing zones. And the reason why we have zones is because homes today fulfill so many different functions in a very limited space. So each zone contains rooms or areas that have very similar functions. So we categorize these zones into 3 different areas. We call them private, service, and social. All right, and you can look at this floor plan that I have on the screen, and you can probably think to yourself, okay, private zone. Well, that's where you're going to want your privacy as a person, so you could probably predict by looking at this floor plan, like what room in your home do you get privacy, and so on from there. So let's talk a little bit about that. So a private zone, obviously, is where you want your privacy. So most people are going to want it quiet, relaxing, a comfortable area, because it's probably where they're going to sleep and relax. So a bedroom would be considered part of your private zone. Another private zone would be your bathroom, because that's where you're going to shower, bathe, dress, etc. Another area that we would label a private zone. The next one is your service zone. So this is the location in the home where you're getting work done. So the main one that most all homes are going to have or should have is a kitchen. And obviously you're going to be cooking in your kitchen, so that's, a household chore or work. Other rooms that would be considered service zones is your laundry room. Not all houses have a laundry room. You might have a laundry closet, an area like that, etc., but still considered part of the service zone. And then some homes have a workshop or garage, which also could be considered part of the service zone. Not all homes will have a workshop or garage, but if they do, they would be part of that zone. And then last but not least is your social zone. And obviously, it's part of the home that's used for your entertaining, your activities, things like that. So that's going to include your living room, your dining room, family room. Some homes only have a living room, only have a family room. Some homes have both. Some homes have a separate dining room. Some homes have a living room, dining room combination. Whatever the case may be, it's considered social. Patios and decks would also be considered social areas if they are in the home and considered social space, etc. All right, it kind of just depends on the layout of the home, the setup, the space being used, etc. All right. So when we start talking more about plans, there's 2 different types of plans. And you probably are familiar with some of them if you watch HGTV. And what we call it is either the open concept or the closed concept. So an open concept plan is where there are no walls dividing the rooms. So when you walk into the front door, it's just open space. It's very, very, very open, and you use your furniture to kind of divide up the space with area rugs, placement of furniture, etc. So what's nice about this open concept is that you can see all aspects of the house at once. It also saves on cost of building materials because you don't have to build walls or have installation, etc. So it is nice for that regard. It also makes the home feel more spacious and just very open. It's almost deceiving because it makes the home almost look bigger than it actually is. So right now, the open concept plan is very popular. It's a huge trend right now in home renovation, etc. So you're going to hear a lot about that. And then on the other side of the spectrum, there's what's called the closed plan. And that's where your rooms are they're separated and they're self-contained. So they have lots of walls dividing up each space, and each room is just more confined. And like I said, most people at this point want the open concept, but there are still many homes that were built in the 60s, 70s that have that closed concept model, and some people do still desire them. So here's a picture of an open floor plan. So as you can see, the double doorway here, and it's very open. They're using, end tables and furniture to kind of divide up the space to make it look like this is your living area. And then you have your kitchen over here. They made this into like a little work area, office space. And then what's nice, just to add in a little bit of a room divider rather than putting in a whole wall, they have these columns, and that helps kind of separate up the rooms. Sometimes they're required because of holding up the ceiling, and sometimes they are just there for decorative appeal, just to divide up the rooms. And then here's a picture of the closed floor concept plan. It's hard to see a closed concept on images like this because unless you're looking at it from the bird's eye view, which is like from the top of the house with the roof removed, it's kind of hard to see. But in this picture, you can see it's closed off. There's a doorway coming into there, etc. It's just very separate. All right. So now what you're going to start doing is you've seen a couple examples of floor plans. You're going to start drawing some floor plans. So when you draw a floor plan, it's called scale drawings, and you can see a picture of a scale drawing right here. And this one's just a very, very basic scale drawing. It's a room that is 20 by 22 feet. All right. So obviously you're going to be doing this on graph paper, and we're not going to make a huge piece of paper that's 20 by 22 feet. You're not going to make it the actual size of the room. So you scale it down. The common scale that we're going to be using throughout this pathway, and a lot of interior designers use the same scale, is 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. So if you use graph paper, you're going to use graph paper that each box is equal to 1/4 inch, and each box represents 1 foot. Okay, so you are going to be drawing out your rooms following that that equivalent of 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. All right. There's also different symbols, and right here you can see some of the different symbols. So if you were drawing out like a kitchen, you can see what a sink looks like, shower for a bathroom, cable TV, fireplace, stairs look like very basic, exterior doors, interior doors, windows, etc. All right. So when you draw in your floor plans, you want to make sure like here is a window, here are your doorways, and then what's nice is this person has created a key. It would be helpful if you also created a key, just so you're more full of understanding where the placement of each thing is, and you'll be required to add more and more to each floor plan as you practice more and more. Okay, so what does it mean to scale draw? Again, you're using that 1/4 inch to 1 foot equivalent. So each of these little boxes equals 1 foot. So like in this here is 20 by 22. So you're going to count 20 upward, 20 boxes upward, and then 22 boxes across. All right, and then that's the perimeter of your room. When you're drawing in these thick lines, that's your wall. It's just your interior wall. So the interior walls are going to account for 1/8 of an inch. There's going to be another tutorial that shows you how to draw this, of me actually drawing it, so you can see before you start doing your actual drawings. So it would be very helpful for you to draw that, or to view that before you start drawing. Here's some more pictures of just some of the symbols to put it more into perspective for you. Again, we're going to start you off very slow, very, very basic, and then you'll add more and more things as you make more floor plans. And this will all prepare you for your capstone project, because you'll be required to make one big floor plan for a client. All right, so this is, again, you'll have lots of practice leading up to that capstone project, and this is some of that practice. If you have any questions, please let your teacher know. Thank you. Have a great day.